Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Let me get. See, I thought I was set up, and of course I'm not. Let me put my headphones in. Let me know how the audio sounds. Gonna grab my controller for the dev stream, and then let's make sure we got camera. Okay. Ugh. See how this. You can fix the lighting, maybe. Maybe a little better. Let's see. I didn't really set it up that well. Sorry. It's a little rough looking, but next week we'll have a little bit more time. I did do a couple of things this week in order to try to make the stream look a little bit better. I updated our news banner. Let's move the camera while we're at it. Let's see if I can do this live. Here we go. Hopefully that should be out of the way there and looking all right. Yeah, the news banner is now updated with the current Patreon subscribers. So if you are a subscriber on patreon.com, your name will be on this news banner regardless of the subscription tier that you are on, whether it's $1, $3, or $5. Let me make sure. See, I used to have 3 monitors, so this was a whole lot easier. Now I'm kind of working off 2, so I have OBS and YouTube split between the one monitor. So let me try to get the chat to where I can see it for anyone who joins into the chat. I think I got this shared on the Discord now. I think I should go ahead and maybe close that so we're not running up too much bandwidth. And I got it posted on Twitter and YouTube, although no one and Facebook, although no one really sees those posts anymore, to be honest. We're gonna go ahead and just get started, and if people start sliding on in, then we will hang out. And if not, I'm just gonna make this kind of like a video that you can rewatch, if you weren't live, basically. So last week, if you were following along, we posted a video about the status of the studio. We posted a devlog. We posted a video about making PitterPot Cursed Thicket, and then we posted a devlog for the first one. And then this morning, I just posted a little quick catch-up devlog. So if you were watching the live streams, that would have, and you didn't watch them, it catches you up to everything that I've done so far, kind of, for the most part, in PitterPot Cursed Thicket. And now you're taking a look at the new level, which has never been shown off in this game before. And I'm going to talk about a little bit some of the stuff that's new. And to be honest, we're just going to start making new stuff and having fun. Or I guess I will make new stuff and just chat into the ether. But there's a lot going on, and you can see this is level 1 right here. This is a duplicated scene, and you can see we've started level 4. I told you guys on last Wednesday, that I would be done with this and that I would just show it to you, and that we would go to the swamp level and work on the vine swing. However, a lot of stuff happened this week. I didn't get as far as I wanted to, so this level is obviously not done. So today's live stream, we are going to build this level instead of the swamp level. But the cool thing is like, this has already got a good foundation, and you guys can just see how we fill in part of the level and how we put some collectibles and enemies out and stuff like that. And yeah, I'll show you guys what I've got going so far, because these gondolas here, obviously they're just going up to nothing at this point. There is no platforms after those, but we're going to build them in just a second. But they are mostly functional. They're not completely functional at this point, but they're functional enough to work for the live stream, so you guys can check it out. I still need sound effects. A lot of the stuff I've been showing off, like the sound effects, are not there yet, and this one has like a little bit of an animation that I need to tweak and add to it, but for the most part, it's pretty functional. So let's go ahead and jump in to the game, and let me get a drink of water. Welcome to the stream if you are here. Excuse me, and ignore my wet hair. Man, it's scary every time. This PC totally needs to be replaced. Um, it takes 30 seconds just to load in the editor. I mean, I know we're running the stream and stuff, but that's like a little nerve wracking. You don't want to be crashing again on the stream. We've done that plenty of times. Stream speed looks average. I can see my microphone firing off and it's not hitting the red, so I'm assuming it's all right. Just once again, let me know for the people who've kind of popped in if the audio is all right. So you can see right off the bat, so this is level 4, and this level has a lot going on, and I want to get you guys' opinion on this. I think that I've done a good job, but like this is the first level where like the level itself is, a bigger model, and like we're gonna have some design of the model itself for the levels. So like in PitterPot, I basically made like 4 different platform models and then kind of just oriented them all together, in different level designs in order to make levels. And that really worked for the first game because you know, there were different seed abilities and things that changed up the platforms. So each world was different. And then, we put different textures on them, obviously, and stuff. And then by the time you got to World 4 in the desert and stuff, you had like flying carpets and you had other things that broke up the level design. But basically, all the levels are built over, 3 or 4 different platforms placed in, a layout. And I mean, I guess there was World 2 in the first game where like I did build 1 or 2 models to where it was like the garden levels, and that was, I think it might have just been the one level actually, 2-1. And then the rest of the levels were built off of platform placement. So this is actually a new set of models here, that we're using, and we're building new platforms for this level specifically. And I want to make sure that it fits the artistic style of the other levels and doesn't stand out. So I basically made this this level here with stairs and platforms and things, but I'm using the same beveling techniques, so it kind of looks rounded off, kind of like the other platforms you can see out here that we're using. And we're going to be filling out these stages with these models here, that are also in the other levels. And this is only like half dressed, I would say. We don't have all the models, the environment art on these platforms, and there's nothing on up here and stuff. So we'll go ahead and start filling out those things while we're on the stream so you guys can take a look. But I think overall this still looks like the right game, basically. And we'll just go forward and talk about it a little bit and see what you guys think. So you can tell some new variants here once again, as I mentioned in the devlog this morning. I'm also going between 2 different lighting setups on these pots, but you can see we've got a new texture set on the pots. So we have the blue ones for the ice. This one is just like metallic, and it's sort of reflective, but it's not like 100% reflective. Like this one is super reflective, like you can see the models in it and stuff. Honestly, this one on the right I think looks better from a glance than this one, but this introduces some issues because it has to have real-time reflection probes, and it kind of messes up the textures on other models. So I'm not exactly sure if I want to keep it this way, and this one is the one that might be going forward. I still think this looks pretty good. It's still shiny and all that kind of stuff. So you can see we've got new models here. We got snow piles, and we have, multiple different types of snow piles. And you can see I've got another texture variant here. In the original game, there was an ice level, but the ice level did not have any vines that attacked you, I don't think. So I made a new texture variant for a frozen vine, to just be able to put more enemy types in this level. And we see these jumping pots were introduced originally in the ice level in the first game, and they're going to be introduced in the ice level in this game as well. But I don't think I didn't have a specific texture for them to make them look like they were covered in snow. So I need to go ahead and make that as well. And you can see like PitterPot's model itself, we have the snow model on. See, it's like ever so slightly kind of duller, like a little bit of ice on him, a little frozen look. He doesn't have snow in the pot yet. I'm going to do a different model for that. So we need to make that as well. And originally, I don't think there were fences like these fences here um, from levels like the original levels. These were not in the snow world in the original game. And I just made this yesterday. I made like an iced over. See, these are like a little bit, um, they look a little bit blue as well. And they kind of got a little bit of a shine to it or whatever if you look at the light on it. So I made an ice texture, a snow texture, if you will, for the fences. And you can see obviously the holly bushes have like a snow texture on them as well. So yeah, so that's where we are with the new variants to be able to decorate this level. And let's just run around the level real quick and I'll show you guys the gondola. So you can see right off the bat, this whole level is a new model, but this right here is like another new platform model. I think it looks pretty cool because it's kind of like you jump on it and there's stairs and you can run all the way up this hill like this and then get to a new level, I guess you should say, a new floor. If you're talking about this level design is floor 1, 2, 3, like story wise is what we're trying to say. This is just another way for you to get up to a new level without always having to jump. It's just to break up the level design. We're going to fill out this platform in just a little bit, and then you can see over here we've got our gondola. And another thing also that I've done this week that's new for you guys to check out is if you just look at this subtle snow particle system, this looks so much better than the original game. Yeah, the original game used like a particle system that was tied to the camera, and wherever you turned it would always be like in front, so you could kind of turn and like billboard the snow particles so you could kind of see it moving with you, and it didn't look as realistic. This is just a world particle system. We can take more advantage of the processing power now than we could in the beforehand, especially on the PS5 and stuff. So it's fine to run, in my opinion, it's fine to run a particle system like this that's just like ambient throughout the world. It's a lot of particles. Excuse me. So it's not like it's free, on the system. It is taking a toll on the level, but I think overall, I think it adds to the level a lot. So you can see like, we got this fog layer. We've got these clouds like floating into these platforms. We've got snow coming down, and we have kind of like an icy fog sky, a blue off into the distance. And I just think overall we have a much better look than we did beforehand in the old snow levels. So I think this looks really, really cool. And just to talk about this gondola here, this gondola is really cool. This is honestly, it's like I said, it's not done. And honestly, gondolas, I think they're like boats, in Italy. I think there are like airship versions of gondolas, but like I just called it that because like I swear in Icy Peaks in Spyro 3, I think it's Spyro the Dragon, the third game, I'm pretty sure they say you can ride the gondola up and down, and it looks similar to this. Obviously, I made my own design, but it's kind of just like an elevator. That's the function of this. But yeah, so I'm calling it a gondola or whatever. But this is pretty awesome. You can see we got our wood post here, and I made this rope that it rides on. And you can see we have this just like subtle like swinging back and forth, this kind of swinging in the wind. And then if you jump on it, it's already like amazing. You can see we have this animation where in PitterPot rides with the gondola. It looks really smooth, actually. This is like better than I could have imagined it being. And then when you get to the top, it lands back into the idle animation, and then you can jump back on it, and you can see we kind of like flip flop, ride it down, flip flop. And like I was just mentioning, with the snow not being a particle system tied to the camera, you can see yourself moving through the snow particles. They're more grounded. So when you jump on this and you see PitterPot just like kind of riding back and forth through the height of the snow, it just looks so much better than before. It's just the game, you're going to get really good feeling out of this game. And what I need to do to make this complete is, you can see the wheel. I'm pointing at it on the screen that I can see it. The wheel is not rotating while it's animating. So like, that little wheel is supposed to animate, like pull it up the rope basically, like clockwise and then counterclockwise as it's like going up and down or whatever. That's easy. I just haven't done it yet. And then there's obviously no sound effects. I kind of want like a creaky wood sound effect while it's just kind of blowing in the wind, and then like a sound effect, I guess, when you're going up the hill or whatever. But yeah, just another new way of travel. That's what I've been trying to do for this game, is provide lots of new ways for the player to interact with the environment and travel and just be part of the world, basically. And you can see, so this level design is split, where there's going to be a gondola off to the right, a gondola off to the left, and then it's going to be like two branching paths, basically. And then they're going to like convene with gondolas backwards. I knocked out my headphones again. I do that all the time while I'm using my hand motions to talk. Sorry about that. You can see there's also no platform here. We're actually about to build that, and that'll be, I think it'll look pretty cool. But you can jump up and land back on the gondola and take it back down, so it's not like it's completely broken or anything. We'll be able to go over there and build that out in just a second. So yeah, there's gonna be a gondola here, gondola there, and then a gondola everywhere. It's gonna go back into the middle, and then yeah, that's gonna be the end. And then basically the flow of this level on trying to figure out, and it's not as straight as the other ones, and you're still trying to get the best time. So it's going to be on the player to figure out, do you want to go left first, right first? Do you want to do the end first and then backwards, or do you want to do left then right then end, or right then left then end, basically? And as I continue working on the flow of the level and stuff, there will be obviously a most efficient path, and it'll be up to the players to figure that out. And you can see we got some more detail going on here. We got these platforms coming off the sides. You can get up here. You can jump down to this. There's this side platform over here. You can grab this. And so you can kind of go in this little alcove here, bust these crates. And then there's like a secret hidden platform down here as well. And there's going to be stuff that we're going to put in here. So you can run down here and grab all of this. And then, there's just this side stuff that you can jump back up and then hop back on the gondola. So yeah, already we've got a pretty awesome design, I think, where we're heading. And yeah, so let me know. You guys can let me know, obviously, in the comments after the fact. Make sure my phone is charging. If you guys are watching this after the live stream, you let me know in the comments below what you guys think of this level so far. But yeah, so I said we're going to be working on it. So let's go ahead and get going. I think I'm going to do a little bit of... yeah, we got plenty of time to work on this. I think I'm going to do a little bit of modeling. I guess we'll pull up Blender and we'll make some new platforms. And then we're also gonna like start dressing. I'm gonna call it dressing. I stopped working on this like middle of like last night, so that we could just do this on the stream or whatever. Because we need to like make these look more complete, make them look a little bit better. I guess, to be honest, I don't really work in scene view maximized like this. I like to see the inspector and see my my tabs going over here. If you see what I'm talking about, I like to be able to, when I'm clicking on stuff, I like to be able to keep an eye on the transform and kind of see where things are in world space and stuff. So I actually work in like the mini view like this, and I like to be able to make sure I can move stuff in the hierarchy for those interested in the actual Unity flow. But I think I will just maximize this and work in the big scene view so you guys can see it a little bit better, because yeah, I think that just looks... You guys can see more of the level that way, I guess. But I don't know how long I'll be able to do it this way, because it kind of bothers me. Because I'm like, oh, I can't see any stats or anything like that. I know that's kind of weird, because it's not, you don't really need to see them. let's see. I mean, it looks pretty good on the stream, so maybe I'll just keep it for now. So we'll take this here. Um, we're gonna make the fence. So the idea is like to fence this off, put some bushes, put some snow in the bushes, in the crates. I actually changed the physics. This you actually can't even tell here. I moved the snow back, so I put colliders on the snow so that PitterPot can run and jump off of the snow. But I made sure that they don't interact with the boxes because these boxes are actually rigid bodies with gravity, so they fall, down to wherever the ground is. Or if you blow them up and stuff and you hit them and another box hits them and stuff, they can bounce and whatever. It's kind of like, let me show you an example. If you made um, like two more here, right? And then let's just jump in the game. So the way that they work is like they needed to be rigid bodies with gravity checking below. So like if you had a big stack like this, you could jump under them. You see it like lands on Pitterpot's head, and then see they kind of like bounce down. So that's the reason why they're like that. And I made sure that they would not interact with the snow layer, in order for you to be able to put boxes like this, like it, because it looks right. To be able to stick a box in the snow, it kind of looks like, oh yeah, this is a snow cover box. It looks correct. But you also don't want PitterPot to clip through the snow. You want to be able to walk on top of the snow. Because like if he didn't have collision on this snow, like see he can kind of walk over this. That actually looks pretty good. Maybe I'll even leave that box there, to be honest. Um, it would look weird, and then if he was just like, clip through the snow. Let's see if you can still get that. You can get it, but I think it's kind of like a little hard to see. If we're gonna go for like heavy details, we would put this out here, and then like when it spawns the seed, it would like check for snow and like put it on top of the snow. That's like a little too complicated for what we're working with. So I could come up with an alternate solution, just for this game, basically. Instead of placing the seed, like spawning the seed right in the middle of the box, I could change the code to where, I could check a box and spawn it on top of the box or whatever. I might do that so I can put some boxes in snow. I think that might be kind of cool. But all right, let's get dressing up the level some. Now I'm I'm like talking virtually. I'm talking to the live stream audience, but I'm sitting in my room talking to myself, talking to the camera. But even doing that, trying to tell you guys what I'm doing, it's like thinking out loud, and I can come up with new ideas even if I'm not bouncing them off of you. So thanks for helping, I guess. And we want to do that's going to be too long. So yeah, I don't know. I just like to see it all in this view. And we'll take a tree and some snow. Let's just bring this snow. And we'll fill up this hole. So it's got something right here. We're going to make sure we're not really clipping too much. And we can take these guys and put them up one more so there's room. And then I guess I don't want to cover like every wall with the fences. Like it's a little too much. Some of these walls will cover with the bricks. Some of them will be empty. Some of them will just have some snow piles. Like what we need to do is let's take the big snow pile, and like we need to put a snow pile here. And like it'll look better if we cover it up here. Let's play with the scaling of this. Let's pull this up some, shrink it in, and let's try that. So here's like a pro tip. All right, I'm liking how that's going. I probably might need to do a new model for this area. But see, like, you make a couple of models, for instance, and then you want to reuse them and change them like this if you can. They might not work in every situation, but if you're doing that, it's better on the system than if you were making like a bunch of new models that it's having to load the data for. Um, Man, I don't know if this one's going to be able to look right. But then basically what happens is... Yeah, I don't really like that. Let's see if we can shrink this some. I'm like so close to getting it to not coming out over here. I think maybe we should turn it again. Let's try this. And you know, you want to do it this way so it's not use it like, because basically you can reduce your draw calls using the same model. It's like you're not having to load different mesh data, from my understanding. Ugh. Yeah, I don't think this one's gonna work. Might have to make a shorter one. Let's just try rotating it one more time. That's kind of what we're looking for. Let's go all the way around. Focus. All right, we're not coming out this side. We're coming out just a tad there, which is what we want. Let's just move it in. I think that looks pretty good. I think we saved it. Let's run over there and see. I bust those boxes every single time I test. And I dodge that perfectly. So you would come over here. And look at that. Looks like a pile of snow built on the sitting on. So it's just not these wood. I want to say they're not platforms. Wood poles, I guess. Wood beams. There we go. Can't find my words today. These wood beams are not just sitting on the level anymore. They got some snow, and you can see we got some shadowing on it and stuff. So looks pretty good, and we got enough room to pop these pots and grab this. That one's kind of the hardest one. You kind of need to go this way because that's how you'll be running up anyways. And that's this plant keeps us from going out over there. Snow under the plant looks pretty good. Although, see, we got an issue here. So this, you can just see underneath this platform. That's an easy fix. That means I didn't layer it right. So this platform is supposed to be a wall. And you can see it'll look a whole lot better after we change that. Basically there's a layer system in Unity, and you can set things to different layers. And you can see like this is considered a wall. Like this platform is considered a wall, so like the camera can't go inside of it. This one probably, yeah, I was gonna say this one. I was gonna say I didn't do that one either. So you can just drive the camera all inside. Yeah, we'll go fix that. But see now if you're over here, oh well, insta death. Let's see if I can just parkour over here. Excuse me, pardon me. Nice, jump over them. Oh man, of course, I hit them. Parkour over here. Just run through them. You can't die on this build anyways. It's fine. And now you can see it's all fixed. So if you drag the camera now, you just see PitterPot's head. And if you smash the camera into this wall, you kind of just run along right there. So yeah, it looks better. And yeah, we got our bush here blocking this off. So let's go fix that other platform. Let's make this one a wall. This one's probably not static either. Yeah, we want that static. We want it to be a wall. It's pretty good. And honestly, I don't think I really want too many fences on this one, but we can do some. So it's not so plain. And honestly, I came up with a new idea. I'm going to use the same fence art, this fence texture, and I'm going to make a gate fence that you have to smack open. I got an idea for that, actually. Might be pretty cool. Yeah, something like that. Give this a little bit more life, and let's take some more snow, and let's put some snow over here. Just like about like this, per se. Snow pile in the corner. Would you look at that? Looks better. So let's get on with doing some of the seed placement and enemies. Let's do some more boxes. Let's put some boxes on the roof. Let's do one over here. And see, like, you know, these, you got to be careful how you jump. So, like, we want to make it more difficult for the player. We can put it over here towards the edge. Let's take a fence or two. Let's put a couple fences over here along the edge. Let's zoom in. Boom, boom, boom. So, like, what I do on this one... Oh, this is already 75, 75. Okay. Yeah, we might have to change it a little. Some of these fences have different scaling. Yeah. So, like, if we do 0.65... Oh. About like that. Let's bring it over here. Ta-da! And let's get it, make sure it's in the ground. And we can go 0.85 and make this like just a sillier looking fence. Maybe not that high. 0.8. And then let's go over here, and it's going to take a second for it to load. Fence 2, fence 3. So I've got another alternate fence model. You can see, you guys never probably even noticed this, but some of the fences are kind of like curved like this. Like the wood has been bent over the years, and some are perfect straight picket fences. So every other, you know, piece, like kind of like this, we just go in here and change it up so it's not so uniform. And boom, right there. What do you guys think of that? Is that not genius or what? So there's like, you know, some alternate variations basically to bring this to life. Alrighty. That's looking pretty good. Let's get us a bush. And we need to shrink this bush down. Need a smaller bush. This is a smaller platform. Boom. Alright, let's put a bush here. And let's scoot him over to the edge, something like that. And let's take the long snow ice drivel. Let's do this. And let's put it on this fence. Something like that. Let's scale this one up some and shrink it down some. It's very easy to do a lot of stuff with a little. We don't want that sticking out. Let's see if we can scale this any bit farther so we get it a little closer to the edges. There we go. Piles of snow. It looks like the fence is covered in a pile of snow. That looks amazing, actually. Looks like we're covered here. We got a pile there, pile there. And hopefully that doesn't look too bad when we hit this pot. Let's just test that. And then let's make a new platform. Let's go see how this looks. Boom, ba-doom, ba-doom, boom. Bomp. Look how fast you can just jump all over this stuff. When you hit that, it's a little into the snow. But yeah, see, if you're not careful, you would just jump over the edge. Bust through all those. That looks pretty good. Another little thing is like, okay, I haven't changed the materials on these. See how these are like the regular seed material? And you can see how these are like the snow seed material. So it actually looks like they're kind of iced over. It's interesting. So like all the seeds in the actual level are supposed to look like iced over, the ones that are sitting out in the elements. And then you can see that the boxes look iced over, but that when you break the boxes, the seeds that were inside of the ice box are the regular material. So because it makes sense, because it wasn't actually exposed to the elements. So just a bunch of little details like that. It's like I don't think anyone ever thinks about that kind of stuff, but I'm like, you know, it's not like this game is devoid of details. We're thinking about all these little different things. We just hadn't changed this. I think this is like seed or pine, maybe. Is this the pine asset? Pine seed pickup? Seed pickup. There it is. Yeah, so like these would look like this. Fix those. That looks much better already. And a quiet Wednesday on the stream today. Hopefully this will be entertaining for the rewatch. All my TreeFall tribers must be busy today. This is not my old stream time either. This is a little earlier than I used to stream. People used to join in a little bit later in the afternoon, which, kind of makes sense. But, yeah, it's kind of like the best time for my new schedule at the moment. Obviously, if this game does really well, then it doesn't matter. We can change up the stream time. But right now, I'm kind of locked into a certain schedule based on family needs. Let's shove this into the wall here. So like I want this to be the end of this platform. I don't want it to go forward. But I got a pretty good idea actually. But let's make some danger platforms. Kind of like something scary. Ooh. That makes me nervous just looking at it. Let's make sure that PitterPot can stand on that. And let's get us one of these guys over here. And let's see how this flow is. 90. So what is that even doing? Let's put that there. So these must all be incorrect. That's better. There we go. We need to fill this out with some seeds as well. So basically, no, this is, I don't know, some game dev insights or whatever. The way I've been building all these levels, it might seem random, but it's super iterative. So like I place some stuff in the level like that, and then I just instantly run and see like what I would do as a player to run and get those. And if it's not fun, or if I die too many times trying to do it, then I change the design. Or, if it's not intuitive, or if it doesn't lend itself to speed. See how these are all in a circle? Basically, let's see if you can get up here on this one. Still too short. Let's restart this. Because the whole point of this game is to be really fast and go for speed and high scores. So, like, I have a route in my head that I know is the fastest. So, like, when I start this level, and this is not how everyone's going to experience it, but, like, I would jump up here and then instantly do this stuff. Grab these, grab this, whip around here. And instead of doing, you would go for that, but I think that, like, maybe down here is faster. Grab these items, then come up here, and then, grab all this stuff. If maybe ride this gondola first, but then, spin here. We're about to put something, grab those boxes as fast as we can. We're about to put some enemies and seeds on here. Then the flow would be jump down here, then maybe even jump to this. and then like I'm gonna do this skip. Then you would run through here because you don't have to walk all the way around. You know, we're speed running, baby. You know, pop all these and then leave all that stuff in the middle, and then go do this. Most likely, it's probably what I would do. Um, and then like I play through it and run it over and over and over and over. And basically, if it's not, I mean, we don't even have the enemies in here. We don't have extra. Well, we have a couple. We're gonna put some more enemies and some more obstacles and some more environment art to make it look better. But it's about the flow. It's like, where is the running? Where are you picking stuff up? How many times are you pressing the square button in order to attack, to pop these, pressing square and then X to jump or whatever? You know, is it fun? Is the speed run fun? Are you having to run too far in a row before having to make a jump? You don't want to have to do action, 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 button, 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 button. But you want to be able to, like, okay, we run, grab these, so you have a brief second of grabbing things, and we want to jump, then we want to pop some stuff, pressing square. We want to square jump. We want to have to turn around the camera, go over here. You know, wait a second, time out some jumps. We're about to put some enemies up here. You know, run under them, grab this. It's all about like timing, the feel of what the player is going to experience. Basically, how are we going to keep it? We only have so many items. We only have so many things. We got seed pickups. We got seed boxes. We got seed vases. We got jumping enemies, enemies you can punch and kill. We got vines that swing and swack. You know, there's only so many things, and we want to make sure we lay them all out along the path of the player to where the actions you are taking are as fun as possible virtually. Um, and kind of that's the kind of the goal. So these little jumping enemies are going to be the new enemies for this level. We're probably going to put some of the regular pots on here too. I don't think we did that in the original game. I think there was only these enemies in the ice level. So, like, let me show you what I'm talking about. So I got this folder of prefabs here, and we got our enemies. So we have a set of different plant enemies. So like these guys, you know, honestly, I gotta redo these to be honest. They work. There is one glitch I mentioned in the devlog today. These guys can be static and just sit still, or I do have a following path script to where they basically can go across a path, kind of like Crash Bandicoot, and they can, you know, block your path or circle around seeds basically. But there's a weird glitch with this animation to where like it looks weird when you're setting it up in the engine. But in order for them to sit on the ground, based on the way I did the original animation, it's like it's like above. So you would need to put them like halfway in the ground in order to get them to show up correctly. That's not going to make it in. I mean, no one knows that. It's just how I have to set the level up. See, like, I put him into the ground, but like, see, he's rocking his little pot on the ground correctly. And then you can knock him off and like see ya. Um, they're still pretty cool for little basic enemies. Um, they're not bad. They give the player something to do. They give you danger. They can move. They could hit you. And if you're not careful, if you don't time it just right, you can run into them when you're trying to hit them. Because PitterPot's vine whip is not, it's not very far in front of the character, you know. So he can still get damaged by them, even though they're pretty basic. So let's go and I went on two tangent rambles. So let's see how the feel is. Like if you run out here, would you be able to turn around? I don't want to have to jump. I don't want to be able to do that. So like the game feel you're looking for here is maybe you put this over here and then these over here. And then let's go in one notch here. And let's get rid of this. Put this down here. Let's see how this looks. Could do some really dangerous stuff. All for one seed. Not exactly the best usage of our player time. But we want a little bit of a challenge off the off-beaten path for those who explore all the edges of the level. So let's bust through these, run and jump off our snow. Woo! Let's see. All right, can we run and turn? We can. And we can land on this. Don't know how much I like that. And honestly, it's a little jittery. Looks pretty cool down here, though. These are not... Oh, you can get the camera in the fog. That looks awesome! Not gonna lie. It looks pretty cool. I'm thinking... Honestly, that's a little bit too much running on these little... Let's just do this here. Let's make... Well, that looks a little too big. Let's do quarters. There we go. We're gonna do some hidden items here. Let's get him down here. Let's go like that. Is that directly even? Let's get rid of these. Let's get rid of this. And let's get rid of these. I mean, you're getting spoilers if you're watching the dev stream, but that's kind of like comes with the territory, obviously. And, you know, half the people watching this might not be fans. They might be devs or something. But I think most of the people that watch these videos are fans of the game, will play the game. That's going to kind of spoil you a little bit. Let's go to, what is it, snow? Let's go ahead and get this snow on here. So we can stop duplicating the, you know, the wrong colored seeds. There we go. Because what this does is this gives a hidden, you know, a hidden ledge. And we're going to let the player know they're not going to have to run around and trying to find this. So, like, I want to make sure, like, if you run over here and you're doing all this stuff, that you can't see it. Naturally, you wouldn't be able to see it unless you turned the camera and looked. You know, that's what we want. Jump, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so that works out perfect because then basically the way that this level flows is, you know, you would come up here or you go the other way and ride the gondola. And then when you get to the top and do this section and you ride the gondola back, you would then be like, oh, shoot, I didn't even see those down there. You know, there will be those platforms hanging off the edge. It already looks like it's filling out like really well. The level's already starting to fill out. It looks pretty good. So then you could just, I mean, you could dive bomb over here the way it works. Those are not even. I'm going to scoot that over one more time. Let's scoot this over. And I guess all of these at the same time. Excuse me, particle effects. Now we are can we not get even here? That one's a little closer to the edge than this one, but we're even jumping here. 1, 2. 1, 2. Let's see if I can do it this way. Some of these are not exactly even units. Excuse me. Pardon me for the interruption. All right, that's about as even as we're going to get it by hand, guys. So we're going to do it like that. And then we'll just go 1 over, so you could fall. There you go, pretty good. And then honestly, I think we can go one more, like hunching over, like look, I'm locking in here. Go down one more, so it's even harder to see. So I mean, either way, it's like the way the level is laid out. If you go left, right, or left first or right first, you would be able to see that on your way back. So Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, I like that because you'd have to get the camera here to where you could see it. So you can grab some items here and even turn around. Well, if you turn the camera, then you can kind of see it. So maybe we'll put some stuff up here so it's kind of harder to see. And then you grab those. This is the first level where you kind of got to explore all the nooks and crannies. It's got some stuff hiding off to the side and stuff. There we go. All right, now let's address them a little. Let's take some of our snow. Here's a new snow. Let's put some snow on here. Shrink it. About like that. I guess, but it doesn't look right. Unless we get rid of it like that. Kind of looks great, actually. Let's do some changes here. So we can have all of these look different. And let's scale. Oh, I'm on an odd angle here. Local and global are the same way. Honestly, that looks pretty good. Let's back that up some. Pull it up there. There we go. We got snow piles there. Boom, boom, boom. Make sure all these are static. Yep. Those are listed as walls. What was not? These? Oh, these are listed as walls. Got that. Okay. All right, that looks pretty good. We got to fill this out as well. Let's see if we like these guys here. And let's put the jumping guys here. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Now we got some jumping guys guarding the seeds. I'm gonna have them face in different directions. You can see their eyeballs are down here. They actually blink their eyes when they're jumping and animating. All right, so we got those guys now, and I kind of wanted like to make this hard. We only have to have one. Let's figure out where his eyes are. Because basically it's gonna be hard to get around these guys. We're gonna put these here. Let's go 0, 2. You see I got some data here. I've built these where they can obviously be different based on my script. They can start their jumping at a different time. They can we can change the loop time, how fast they jump basically, and then we can change how high they jump. So all of those things. You see those guys are jumping faster. We actually want them to jump even higher than that because that's like a little too difficult. Let's see. See if we can get these a little bit better. Let's go 400. See what that looks like. I think this stream must be reaching new people, non-TreeFall people today, because it has a lot of different unique viewers. So they're basically popping off as soon as they land. I think that's like a little too difficult. We need to slow their time down. Let's do them on 3. And let's see how that looks. Yeah, so this must be reaching some random people, probably based on the the dev gondola thing on the title, which they're over there. All right, let's see. Would you be able to run and jump and land? Yeah, you could do that. Not too bad. A little difficult, maybe. Maybe we'll probably. I kind of like having the two enemies there, to be honest. But I kind of want to put a seed on this one. We'll just leave it, I guess, for now. Let's put some snow over here. Snow in the shadows. Snow down here. Snow everywhere. All right. I don't know if we can get this one to look right. We'll see how it looks. This might be a little too stretched, to be honest. Does that look like a pile of snow in the corner? Kind of looks like that from far away, but I'm not convinced. Let's get rid of that. We'll work on that later. And let's do a box here. A regular pile of snow. Gotta shrink this one way down. Flatten it up. Looks pretty good. Got two piles of snow there. And let's stick these guys. Right in the middle. Um, and let's go here. Start 0, start 1, start 2. Repeat time on all of these be 2 and 300. So this, you can make a lot of cool stuff with this, the way that I've coded this, because, that's what we want to do. We want to, whoa, I didn't even think about the math on that one. You just saw my mind get blown in real time. I needed to not do, I needed to not have the repeat time be like that. It's because the third interval is just still on the same timing as the first one. It just doesn't start off. Um, to be honest, like that's fine. But what we want to do is change this to 350. And then we can just, I actually think it looks pretty cool. So you can just start at 0. Because the repeat time was 2, and he started at 0 and then went to 2. So after the first cycle, he would just jump at the same time as the other guy. I do kind of want to, we can do some on like a running cycle, basically. I'll probably do that on one of the platforms that we're about to create. Goodbye. All right, that looks pretty good. These are kind of a problem because they have a collider. So we want to get it as far to the edge as we can, kind of like that. And I'm going to do the same thing for this one. Something like that, so you can actually run and dodge these guys a little bit better. Because if you guys remember correctly, the end of this level, you will get a bonus for not taking any damage. So it's kind of like, you know, you want to make it hard, but you also want to be able to successfully not take any damage. So you could just run under. Or the wrong one. Yeah, you could run under those guys. Pretty easy. Pretty easy. Not too bad. This level is looking really good. Some of the ambient occlusion is kind of flashing. I don't know if we could fix that up with higher quality. Might have to be a PS5 thing only, or I might have to get rid of it completely. I still think it looks overall better, but I would go ahead and start messing with the settings, but I don't really want to dive into the PlayStation settings here. Not really sure what I could share. Let's get Blender open. And let's get working on a new platform. This is still not 100% dressed, obviously, but it's getting closer. And it's probably more exciting to see new stuff getting made than just the stuff getting finished. Now we got snow over here, snow over there, snow everywhere. Looks pretty awesome, to be honest. To me, I guess. You may disagree. Piles of snow, collectibles. Okay. Zip, zip. All right. You guys can see that, right? Let's see what time is it? Shoot, dog. About to spend the whole time. Maybe we should just do the whole thing. You can leave a chat if you guys want to see the last little bit of the stream doing more of filling out the level, or if you want to see me start working on something new. Because now we've got the basic level here, and we need to create some of the level up here, create the level up here. Obviously, you know, you guys can ignore all this. This is from the other level. You can delete all of these things. I need to make a seed bomb thing, so honestly, maybe one over here. Maybe some stuff over here. It'd be, you know, dude, it'd be actually really cool. This just came to my mind right here. If we did this. So this would change the flow, obviously. I just think this would look cool the way that and honestly, let's just do a 180 flip here. No need to create a new asset, guys. Let's just get it like as close to the roof as possible. This is gonna look kind of brand new. Let's get it like right in here. 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 It kind of fits automatically. Doesn't matter really. Um, let's see if I can scale this up and make it look alright still. And let's flip it around. Not too bad. I think wood grain has a snow. Oh, we're already on the snow here. Wood might be called ice. Sometimes I name them that. There we go. There we go. Now you fit in so much better. Let's take you. be pick up 1, spawn spot 1. Pick up 1, spawn controller 1. Yes. And this kind of needs to be somewhere where it could be seen easily, you know? Grabbing it here, chucking it down there. Honestly, we put it... Oh, yeah, we could do this. I'll show you what I mean. In my head, I'm working out a route based on where this would go. Let's put this guy back 1. And yeah, let's leave that about right there. We don't have a snow texture on it. Let's just try this real quick. This is going to look pretty awesome. So this is the seed pickup. We still want to use this item while we're in this first couple of levels, to be honest. So yeah, it would be super easy. Yeah, he just hurt me. To go ahead and grab a couple of them here. You can see they respawn. And then you'd be able to jump over here. Can you land that? Oh, I cannot believe I landed it between the two things. Chuck a C-bomb in there, blow that one up. Yeah, I knew that would be super cool. The way that I'm going to look at that again, actually. Let's restart this. If you fill up that, instead of just having a secret alcove right there in the corner, we're going to block it off where you actually have to have an item to get into it, so you got to pick up the bombs. But see, if you run up and destroy these, then you're not able to do this skip. So you wouldn't be able to save time. You'd have to run up here. But you could still grab this easily and then do this first if you wanted to. I just knew that the particles would look really cool bouncing off all of the walls. I got to change the particle material as well so it looks like snow instead. See these boxes break and the box particles look like snow. Wow. Oh, excuse me. I'm pretty tired. Stayed up pretty late and worked I don't know, about 11:30, closest to midnight last night on this, and then instead of going to bed, I played a little bit of PlayStation. So it made it even worse. Yeah, this is already really coming together, though. We got enemies all around. We got enemies bopping in different times. Got to dodge them, pick up our seeds, bust our boxes, dodge the vines, bust the boxes, jump over these dudes, got injured, bust these, hit these, hop over this, blow some stuff up with some bombs. Let's put something over this way, probably. We need another reason to use some C-bombs. Let's get another one of these. Could maybe even seal off a gondola. Or, let's think where I want this. I could give us something to do right here. Because we definitely want to, kind of fill this area in along these lines. see if we can get this to work. Get over to this edge, like that. It's a little close to that guy. Let's pull it back. We can push him over here. We can take like a little snow puddle. Let's just like shrink this up. 0.1.1. Yeah. And that little snow puddle will cover that from floating. And looks pretty good, to be honest. So we want to start filling this in. We want some stuff to do over here. We want a couple of boxes to break. Might be good. I think it'd be over here. We don't want to get anything too close. Something like that. Let's take these. Let's take a bush. Let's put him over here. Let's skip a couple. I'm not liking how close we are here, especially with this snow. I might just get rid of these connectors and just put seeds on either side. I think I'll just get rid of this bush instead. This may or may not be kept. We'll see. Okay. Oh man, I'm so tired. Okay. Let's try this. Set this wood here. That looks good. It just is coming through like a little bit right there. Looks pretty good, to be honest. Let's put a couple of close together seeds in there. Save that and let's jump in, guys, and let's see how that flow looks. So that would give you a lot of stuff to do. You know, you start off popping the pot, popping some boxes, dodging some dudes, grabbing some seeds, going, oh shoot, don't hit that. Can't bust in here. But I don't like it. We're going to move this. We're going to move this somewhere else. Because if you come to investigate this, it will be too easy to see this hidden stuff here. And we want that to be a little bit of a surprise. So, honestly, might move it here. Because like this, you could shove that thing over there. And it wouldn't reach, actually. So, yeah, honestly, I'm not even going to blow it up yet. I don't like it. Let's go ahead and I'll let you guys see this bigger. You can see some new people joining. Let's do this. The explosion of the particles every time I click it is crazy. I'm sure that there's a way to... Maybe is that this? I don't know. Anywho. I don't think I like it here either. It's a little too cluttered. Let's just get rid of this. I'll do that after the fact. Right here in the middle, this can go. And then we can get rid of these. Honestly, don't like how these look anyways. Let's just push these here. Let's get rid of this. Let's push these here. Excuse me, controller. Let's get rid of this. Let's just push these up here and towards the middle. Is that where those are? Yes. That's beautiful. All right, so that's like less busyness, and you can get the seeds a little bit better, and you can just see this right away. But this could potentially, let's see if this breaks the level design. I don't know. That's disgusting looking. Let's do this. About running up on the end of this here. Let's keep going. Okay. Let's see if we're going to break the level design. Let's see if we even like this here. Because now you can jump. You can skip ahead. Can you skip? These platforms are still too high for you to get to. This one is still too far away for you to skip and get to. So this doesn't really change the flow of anything, except for you could jump off of it to get this instead of walking up the stairs. That doesn't really do anything. I think that's fine to keep it there. But if you automatically throw it out, it shoots over like a little too far. I'm still not convinced. This is probably going to be next week if I show you guys this level again. This will be done by next week. We're going to be working on the swamp. But most likely this is going to I'm just like not convinced. I don't really like the flow. Something like this. I'm not sure. We might change this. And it's sad. I'm about to have to end the stream in just a little bit. I usually go. These new Wednesday streams are gonna be from like 11:15 Eastern time to about 12:45 Eastern time. That's about the go. So it's gonna be about an hour and a half streams, I think. But yeah, the two platforms that we're building up here. One, I wanted to put snowboarding enemy pots on one, and then the other one is going to be like you know, a jumping minefield or whatever of like these little guys you have to jump on, because they can. I put the little log on their head. That we did that in the first game. But yeah, so that would have been pretty cool to show off on the stream, to be honest. But I just didn't get started on it early enough, and there's a whole lot to do on this game. It's crazy. So let's shoot this forward, and that looks a little bit better because you don't have to run anywhere. But I don't like how I didn't get just like an automatic circle press didn't get you all of them blown up. I just, you know, I don't know. And let's see if you can get on the gondola and shoot. That gives me like a super good idea, to be honest. This is like totally, you know, off the cusp. But along this gondola ride, we are now going to be doing that. Welcome to coolest ideas ever, guys. This is the last thing I'll do. For the 3 people watching at this very moment, you're going to see the coolest design ever in between all of these particles. All right. This is what we're going to do. This is the last thing, and I got to run on ending the stream. Right here. I guess I do need to have this wider. 2 by 2 by 2. And we're gonna go rock path. We're gonna rock path this one. I guess we just need to do it. Get the right scale. Here we go. Here we go. So the only way to get to this, I'm gonna have to fix the scaling of that. But anyways, so the only way to get to this would be off of the gondola. And in order to make this the coolest run possible, if you're trying to go for a high score, you would have to do it this way. You would have to get the seed, and you would have to ride the gondola. And I mean, you could do it the slow way. You could jump over here and like make sure you hit this and blow this up. But ignore that. We're gonna fix that as well. We did that in the first game. We're gonna put some physics on that so it falls down and blows up. But instead of doing that, you could ride the gondola and throw the seed bomb off of the gondola and have this blow up while you were riding. So not only are you just you're not just riding anymore and just doing nothing, because that's kind of like the thing I've been thinking about for this game is like, if there's any downtime, there needs to be something that you could be able to do during the downtime. So like, on these rides, we'll probably put some seeds that you have to walk back and forth or whatever. But for this one, you would just be like, I'm throwing the bomb off, boom, and blowing it up. Or you just maybe you even wait till you're up here to shoot it, yeah, and blow it. And then you go up here and do this platform, and then on your way back down, because you got to come back down, then you hit this stuff, and then you run down here and grab this, and then you come back up and then do this stuff, and then jump across, do this stuff, jump across, and then do this side. And then that would be the fastest and most efficient flow. I think that's super cool. Obviously, it doesn't look that great yet, and we got a floating wood platform, but you guys get the idea. And there's nothing up here, too, obviously. We'll just make this side a little smaller, so this one is like the obvious one where you want to go over here and do this first, and then we can kind of knock this out and just make this amazing. We gotta put these seeds down so you don't have to jump and get them. I'll change this up or whatever. I might change this platform to see how the bricks are all the right scale between all these platforms, and this is a different platform. These bricks are like a little too big. They don't look that bad, to be honest, but we can try to bring them a little bit more in line with the scale of the game. So yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for today's stream. It is 12:45. So basically, you saw me dinker around in Unity for an hour and a half, but I think it looks pretty awesome, and I got to get a little farther along with this level. So what do you guys think of this level? Let me know in the comments down below for everyone who's watching in the future. Let me know what you think of the gondola system. Super dope. I think it's really awesome. We're going to be, like I said, adding some new animation, adding some sound effects, putting some seeds to run around and grab while you're floating up and down on those things. Dropping some more seeds and enemies over here, some more things for you to do, throwing bombs off the cliff, blowing stuff up while you're riding and grabbing seeds, lots of different things. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I will catch you guys next week. Next Wednesday, we will not be working on the ice level. I will show you what the finished ice level looks like. We will go to the swamp next. Hopefully the ice level, like I said the ice level would be done, and then we would be on the swamp. So for this week, hopefully the ice level will 100% be done, and maybe even the swamp halfway done. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully I can get it started for you guys. So we're working on some cooler level designs and or maybe some cool modeling things. So we can get some interesting stuff going on. A couple housekeeping things before I shut it off. This game is not live on PlayStation yet. It's a little too early to get it live, but I'm probably going to work on that this week to try to get the store page live, just so when I'm running these streams, when people are joining in, when we post the devlogs, everyone can go ahead and start putting the game on the wish list and start building up those wish lists over time. I'm probably going to try to do that this week. So that's one of the goals. And, hopefully, maybe I'll even Friday's video. I'm thinking Friday's video is good game dev tips and talks video. You guys are real into those. I got a couple of them that are scheduled, one about platforms. I got a new one I want to make just about PlayStation in general, and, a couple other money videos. So there's a couple different things that I want to make, but I'll do one of those for Friday, or maybe even another devlog for this, or this devlog on Monday, maybe, to where I show off the completed level and show off the gondolas working with the sound effects and what have you there. But so store pages coming soon. There's links down below if you want to find some of our other games. Obviously, the original PitterPot is available for purchase, and there's a bunch of other games we've released recently that are all pretty cheap on PlayStation. Steam links are down below. We don't have as many games on Steam. We're pretty much a PlayStation dev at this point, but do have a couple games coming to Steam this year. Yeah, and join the Discord if you guys are new. Discord is where all the TreeFall tribe members hang out. There's almost 100 members in there. You can join in, help us get to 100, and you can just hang out and chat about game development topics, video games, the video game industry, my games, obviously, any of that kind of stuff. So that's down below. That's free. The Patreon page is obviously down below. That's not free, but my Patreon tiers are $1, $3, and $5. So if you want to join for a month and get some YouTube shout outs and get your name in the credits of some games, it's not exactly that expensive to do. That would help us out a ton. You can do that. If you don't want to do that, that's 100% fine. Been very excited. We've gotten quite a few new patrons over the last couple of months. We're doing pretty good on that front. So really huge shout out to everybody who supports TreeFall Studios on patreon.com. This entire stream right down below here, the patrons have been running across on and off the stream. So you got some shout outs there. And I guess you can follow us on Twitter or whatever. The algorithm does not favor us anymore there, so no one really sees our posts as much as they used to. So yeah, we do have a Twitter, but pretty much if you want to keep up with us, just subscribe on YouTube or join our Discord down below. I will catch you guys next week in the swamp. We are going to be jumping into the swamp and trying to make some vine swing animations. I'm sure it would actually be interesting for some people to see like game rigging and like maybe some character animations. So maybe we'll make some new animations for PitterPot next week. Just let me know in the comments below whenever this posts and some of our TreeFall tribers watch it, or you can let me in Discord. Maybe I'll do a weekly, maybe that's what I'll do. So to push guys to Discord, I'll do a weekly poll in Discord, and everyone can vote on exactly where they want to see the live stream go. Give a couple options of things that I can do per week, whether it's modeling, animation, some art, building the level design like this in Unity, that kind of thing, and you guys can vote on it. Yep. Alrighty, it is now 12:50. We're 5 minutes over time. I will catch you guys in the next video. I enjoy just doing this random dev stream with you guys. I hope you are on board for the future of PitterPot Cursed Thicket. Thank you for joining in on the stream. I'll catch you guys in the next one.